Wednesday. Excuse me for a second while I snack on some of these chips. Alright, we do have quite a bit of people in the chat early tonight. Extreme Zone 97, who actually had a question earlier, said, decided to clean the dust out my PC last Saturday. Only thing really dusty was a CPU fan and heatsink. Oh, what about the case fans? How often should you normally clean your PC? Possible poll question, perhaps. Yeah, we could definitely ask that poll question. Uh-oh, I gotta move that up. Give me 1 second. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, we can run a poll on that, but I think I clean mine every couple of months. I'm curious if anyone in the chat cleans it like once a month, which I would think is pretty frequent. It really depends on how dusty it gets. Are you in an area where there, like, do you have carpet versus hard floor? A lot of things contribute to how much dust accumulation you get, so yeah. But we did have Craig Lilly, who was the first in the chat. What's up, Craig? Kevin O, as always. Hey, Kevin. Federico. It's Kaz. What in the crackhead thumbnail? Was my thumbnail that crackheady? It was just my typical... Or was it like... I don't remember what the thumbnail exactly was, but... yeah, I gotta make it more intriguing. Let's see... What's up, Green Crayon? Free graphics card? There are no free graphics cards, especially not the 7900 XTX that I put on the screen. But, let's see. We got... Hey, what's up, KL130? Dino Nuggets, hey, Zia. Danny, how am I paying you for that bet? Me and Chris from Coalition Gaming, actually, we made a bet on the Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva fight. Chris, how should you pay for that bet? I'll let you know. Maybe I'll pick a Steam game or something. But I won. My uncle is looking for a very higher end gaming. What is very high end? For laptops, it gets really expensive really fast. I would consider like high end for a laptop, like in the $2,500 to $3,000 territory. That's where you're getting like basically maxed out CPU, GPU, really nice display, all that stuff. But maybe we can take a look at that later, Mr. Intern. Your KL130 is on their 7th month of not cleaning the PC. Dang. Chris, you're used to taking L's? Well, your luck, you know, as time goes on, your luck will turn around in some instances. So hopefully the L's are wasted on stuff like betting on fights, and then the W's come in the form of YouTube and things like that. Oh, $4,000? Sheesh, $4,000. All right, maybe we can try to take a look at like laptops in that price range. You're month 4? How do you guys even remember? I think I blew out my computer before LAN, so that's going on 2 to 3 months now. But yeah, otherwise I don't remember. It's Kaz, still trying to buy a 4090, but no luck. Are you just basically trying to buy it from anywhere? We can take a look at the stock and see what's up in a second. Alright, let me run the poll, actually. Let's see, every month or less. Every month or less. All right. So the poll: how often do you clean your PC? And I would say I'm probably closer to every 3-ish months for me. I do keep my PC on top of my desk though. We do have carpets down here, but I keep my PC on top of my desk, so it's not like it's directly pulling in dust from the carpet. So I think that helps allow me to do it, you know, not every month. It's guys says, PS, I'm not trying to pay over MSRP for the 4090, and preferably I'd like to buy the MSI liquid version. Okay. Oh yeah. Well, okay. When you say MSRP, do you mean like non-scalped prices? Because for most of the retailers, I think the prices, especially for the one that you're looking for, is going to be over MSRP because you're going to be looking for, like, let's say MSI or the liquid version. Whereas, so you're probably not going to get it for that $1,600 it's quoted at. But what you really meant was you don't want to pay scalper prices in the secondhand market. 1,800 pre-tax? Okay, got it. Okay, stock with what I would think would be a very common question. Would you recommend building now or waiting for next gen GPUs? Asking for a friend, thanks. All right, it depends on how much money your friend has. If your friend has in the ballpark of, let's say, $2,500 or more, maybe probably closer to $3,000, then probably wait. I'm just not confident that once the 4070 or 7700 XT or whatever those cards come out, I'm just not confident that they will actually be going for what their quote-unquote MSRPs are, nor will they be available. So if your friend has like $1,500 or less, right now is like a perfect time to build a PC. But if you want the newest stuff, it just gets expensive really fast. Sideread says, is Hardware Swap a good place for PC parts? What's your opinion on it? Hardware Swap is one of the best places to buy PC parts, in my opinion, due to the reputation system they have. And normally you use PayPal on it, so you use goods and service. So if you get scammed, that person will eventually get blacklisted and you'll get your money back. But I bought on Hardware Swap many times in the past. I have no issues with it. I definitely recommend it as like another alternative source. The fees would definitely be less to say something compared to like eBay, because on Hardware Swap you're only paying PayPal fees. You don't have like the whatever, you know, marketplace fees that you typically have elsewhere. So yeah, stock. So I think there is risk in waiting. Do you know how much your friend wants to spend on a PC? Yeah, like cards like the 6900 XT are going for so cheap. And it's gonna continue to drop as AMD and Nvidia releases more cards. So it's really up to you whether or not you have to have the latest and greatest things. But I mean, I have always been a fan of getting something that's like one generation older, because you can find it for cheaper, even like much cheaper in the used market. So it all depends. Yeah, good time to buy now. Yeah, Shauner, I saw that the other day. 9% fees on Jawa now. A little rough, but still better than others. Let me check the website. So for those of you who don't know, I've worked with Jawa. And this 9% fee, I don't think is going to be like a huge issue, because I still think there's a lot of value that Jawa brings to PC enthusiasts and gamers. But let me see if that if it's been announced anywhere. I know it was on the email listing, but let me look at their about section. Hey, what up, Jason? Where's the frequently asked question? Oh, about us. Did they reflect? Yeah, so they did. Okay, they did reflect it here. Okay. Madness Rising says this gen is going to be a wash, I think. 2024 will hopefully course correct with RDNA 4 and RTX 5000. What do you mean by it's going to be a wash? Do you think it's not... You mean like there's not going to be as much hype for this generation once everything is released? And it's just going to be kind of like one of those carryover generations? Where's Jason at? Jason Whitmer says, yo, I was able to pick up that Micro Center deal last week for a B450M plus Ryzen 3600 for $75 after coupon. Wouldn't let me get multiple though, of course. Because if you could get multiple of those, I bet you so many people would line up to buy like 5 to 10 of those and they just make budget systems and sell. Yeah, $75, that is a crazy, what I would consider... not a once in a lifetime deal, but very, very rare deal that would be hard to replicate. So I don't know if Jason, if you plan on making a YouTube video, but if I were to make a YouTube video using a B450M and Ryzen 3600 that I got for $75, I would definitely disclose, like, you're not going to be able to repeat this. I'm just showing you what ultimate deal hunting can get and what it's capable of, but don't expect to replicate this type of video. Because I hate it when people complain that you use deals that basically no one else can get. So, yeah, but that's a crazy good deal. Did anyone else happen to get the same one that Jason got? Giancarlos Diaz says, I'm planning to sell my old PC. How much should I sell it for? It's got a Ryzen 5 3600X, B450 board, 16 gigs of RAM, very standard, 600 watt EVGA PSU. You have a 5600 XT GPU. Okay, let's just see. Also, all my other like PC flippers or PC sellers in the chat also chime in on this. But just looking at that price list, let me quickly do some math. Okay, for 9, okay. And then assuming we want to get you some profit on that, Giancarlos, I would think maybe 550-ish, 550 to 600. It's just that 5600 XT, considering how cheap like RX 6600s are right now, both in the new and used market, and you've got like a 3000 series Ryzen 5, which aren't too expensive, and RAM is dirt cheap, SSDs are dirt cheap. I'm thinking a system like this that we have right here is about 550, maybe 600 if you're trying to push, you know, the labor cost a little bit more. But let me know what everyone else thinks. Yeah, 2 terabyte. Oh wait, 2 terabyte SATA SSD. I missed that. So maybe closer to 600. For some reason, I read 2 terabyte and I instantly went to hard drive. But yeah. Yeah, list price and price you accept will be different though. Yeah, I mean, so if I were to put this up listed, I don't know how much you spent on this system. If this was your own personal system that you spent way more than 600 on, like, you know, years ago, and now you're getting rid of it to make money back. But yeah, I would think something like this is valued probably 600 to 650. Hey, what's up, Chris Kunin? Welcome to the stream. We're just hanging out right now. We're going to look at AMD stuff in a second. Just letting people use the restroom, get their water. And I just want to focus on chat a bit because in the previous weeks, we've been doing stuff on screen. Also, chili cheese Fritos. What are you guys' thoughts on that? To me, this is not my favorite. I'll eat it. This is actually leftovers from the LAN party, by the way. We bought that big bag of chips, and we didn't, or the big box of chips from Costco. And these are definitely one of the least favorite ones. So now I have the boxes back there that I'm trying to finish. So But yeah, I definitely would never grab these unless it was like the last things left in the box. I would never go out of my way to buy a bag of these by itself. PR Tech says they are nasty AF. Kale130 loves them. We got Craig Lilly says blah. I do like the original. I like the original and then the honey barbecue one. These, they work in a pinch. If you're trying to like snack on something, you want something salty or you're hungry. But yeah, I just gotta finish these. So I would probably rank them on a tier list. Maybe like C to D tier. Jan Carlos Diaz. All right, I'm gonna list it for 600. Yeah, so I probably list it for 650. You're gonna get the typical people who want to talk you down, maybe more, and then you can maybe meet in the middle at 600 if they do that. So yeah. Yeah, the honey barbecue twist, so good. Something about the twist, the texture of it. The twist is like, the shape makes it like almost a harder crunch, so it's really nice. Tommy, yeah, so Tommy TX or Tommy Texas says the same thing as me. When it's leftovers, I will kill them. Exactly. Draxler M says, wait, you're supposed to clean your PC? Alright, so ending the poll, most people, more than half the people who voted anyways, are saying that they do every 4-ish months or more. So more people rather than not wait longer in between PC dustings. Is 130 a good price to sell a RX 6400? I don't know, that just seems a little expensive considering what's in the used market. But the used market stuff's going to be generations old. Like for 130, I feel like you can get a 1070, which would perform way better. Honestly, it's hard to comment on what to price things like the 6700 or 6500 XT, 6400, RTX 3050 because they're from the current generation, but they're just like lower end cards that don't have that much value proposition. So, okay. So this last comment, and then we're gonna. I really want to hear everyone's thoughts now that AMD announced the 7000 series graphics cards, at least the top end ones, and then we can go from there. But I just posted my i9-9900 MSI Gaming Edge, okay, mobile NZXT 240 AO NZXT case with 6 RGB fans. Oh, so you posted everything that it doesn't have a graphics card? 300, an i9-9900 with the motherboard, NZXT case. Yeah, that I think you're asking a pretty reasonable price. 400 is a little bit on the higher end, not super unreasonable, but definitely for 300, whoever's picking that up is getting a pretty good deal. Hey, what's up, Hazard Me? How do you clean your PC? Just use an air can or wipe down? Both wipe down, and I don't use air cans. I don't like how they lose the pressure. I have a really strong electric duster, which I can show you. It's from Amazon, actually. So if you look up... Okay, I swear this is an incognito window. I don't know why stuff like this is popping up. I'm just saying. Savage X Fenty Shop. What's up with this lingerie? But, let me see. Whoops. Let me go back to, let's see. Air duster electric. So there's a bunch of electric air dusters out there. I personally use the DataVac, which has been one of the, I feel like it's been one of the ones that have been around for a really long time. They are kind of expensive. Like, they're in the, like, $100-ish. Sometimes you can, let's see what a used one goes for. I bought mine used. I forgot for how much. Probably around 60 to 70 bucks. But, do they have any used ones? How come it's not showing me used? But you have all these other companies. Like, has anyone used one of these ones? I think, Chris, didn't you make Coalition Gaming? Chris, are you still there? You made a, you made a YouTube Shorts on this, but something similar to this, right? My issue with any battery-powered one is that it's not going to be as powerful. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on it? You have both of those types. Both. So Jason, do you notice this electric wireless one being any weaker than the DataVac one? Than this one? So it's much weaker. Okay, so I think it probably depends on what level of dust accumulation you have on there. If you have super caked on stuff, or just like way more, like go for something like this. But I do see the convenience of this one, because sometimes when you go outside, trying to find an outlet is really annoying, and being able to be completely wireless, you know, could have its uses. Does this one have USB-C? Yeah, definitely. Everything's going to USB-C, so you probably want to go with that. I fill balloons with air, then release the air to clean my baby sister's PC. Really? Like, do you fill it up just by blowing on the balloon? I have an air compressor for the bigger jobs. Okay, yeah. So, like, got it. Vacuum cleaner attachments are superior to any of those. Yeah, but the issue with vacuum cleaners is there's a little more static that can be generated, right? Which, I mean, static's not a huge issue these days anyways, but... Future Streamer says, without benchmarks to compare 7900 XT to other cards, I don't know if it will be worth it. I think that AMD is waking up to the new economy from their Zen 7000 series and made the right decision. Yeah, you're talking about the price drops for their CPUs? Yeah, the DataVac is so loud. It is ridiculously loud. It is essentially a mini air compressor, so... Yeah. Okay. So now let's take a look at the 7900 XTX. I pulled up the Tom's Hardware article if anyone wants to read for themselves or read along. But we have, I think the biggest thing for most people that I saw in terms of when I was on social media the day it was announced, which is kind of funny because almost everyone had a similar type of comment, like, ooh, AMD is not playing around this time, or AMD came to fight or whatever. But we've got the $1,000 7900 XTX or the $900 7900 XT. Let's see, did they post any in terms of what we care about? Performance, apparently the 7900 XTX is supposed to be yeah, up to 1.7x faster, but again, are we talking about resolution scaling or anything at all? So you have to take all the presentations with a grain of salt. Yeah, Nvidia is finished. Every comment no, not me though. I was not the only one. Nvidia is finished. That's what I was talking about, Jason. And I DM'd you about it. But yeah, so a lot of people, and I was telling Jason, I found it so funny that so many content creators or just PC enthusiasts out there who have had a known bias for Nvidia in the previous years. Like if you ask them what's in your personal PC, it's usually going to be an Nvidia graphics card, but they're all like, oh man, Nvidia is finished, or AMD's finally gonna, you know, be very competitive. But I feel like most of those people still won't ever give AMD a chance, no matter how competitive, no matter what the performance is, no matter what the price is. So I thought that was kind of funny, but we'll see. Once these cards are actually released, give them like half a year, and then I'll probe them and ask, what graphics card do you use, Nvidia or AMD? Yeah, anyways, let's put a 4090 in my machine. So let's see. Yeah, 2 times more. So we do have FSR 3, which I guess so this is similar to, like, I don't know how many people. We gotta run a poll real quick. Start a poll. Cause we do have different people attending stream every. Okay. Intel, I guess. All right, so what's in your PC right now? I just want to get an idea of what the split is actually of the audience right now for the different brands of or different companies for the graphics cards. So, hey, what's up, Math2? How's it going? You're off to play. Where's MHR? See you, PR Tech. Oh, Monster Hunter Rise. Okay, gotcha. Have fun, man. Take it easy. Hey, it's Joe. I love my RX 6600, but CUDA. Do you need CUDA cores for anything specifically, Joel? I forget if you do anything specifically, like different workloads, like Blender, for example. Craig Lilly says, this is why I wait 2-3 months before I even look at new GPU reviews. Too many biased reviews. Well, the thing is, since AMD is second to the party, anyone or any of the big content creators who already have like the 4090 on hand, they'll be able to do direct side-by-side comparisons. And also, Craig, do you consider Gamers Nexus or Hardware Unboxed, who typically have day one reviews, have multiple graphics cards from both companies ready to go, do you consider them biased at all? I definitely don't consider. GN and Hardware Unboxed are definitely like my two favorite day one reviewers to watch. But what other reviewers do you typically go to for day one? You think they're biased? I think that the information they show is enough for you to come to your own conclusions. I don't know if I would say biased. Man, that's the next poll we're gonna run, by the way. Yeah, Steve gives too much information for a lot of people, even for me sometimes. So during Gamers Nexus reviews, I'm typically skipping through to the information that I like care most about. So yeah. Yeah, I agree. He goes in depth because if he doesn't, then no one else will. So, you know, he's got to be there for the super enthusiasts. Hey, it's Joe says, don't know if you saw it. What do you export your videos with GPUs? Why? As I mentioned before, I use Premiere Pro. Yeah. Hey, it's Joe. So I do use I use the GPU hardware acceleration in Premiere Pro with my 6700 XT from AMD. It is faster than doing CPU encoding with the 12700K. How much faster it is I didn't do a side-by-side comparison for a video render, but I'm pretty sure you could just look up like 6700 XT versus something, say, at 3070. But AMD's hardware encoding for Premiere Pro, I've had zero issues with it. I've never had weird artifacts or like crashing in Premiere, and it renders all my videos pretty fast. Typically for like a 10 to 15 minute videos, no more than like 3 to 4 minutes. So for me, that's plenty fast enough. I don't need Nvidia specifically for that. Chris is saying the extrapolated numbers for the 7900 XTX have estimates putting it around 10% lower performance than the 4090, hoping for the best. Okay, so looking at the poll that we have so far, I'm actually pretty surprised. We have a better split than we do the Steam hardware survey. So let me pull that up because, by the way, does anyone know a better source than Steam hardware survey if you wanted to look at percentage breakdown of user base? Steam hardware survey obviously is biased towards gamers. Not everyone is a gamer. Not everyone submits to the Steam hardware survey, but it is one of the bigger databases that I know about where you can pull up information to look at like how many people are using, let's say, Intel, Nvidia, or AMD. So I'm gonna end our poll now. If you haven't voted yet, then vote about what graphics card you have right now. But in the latest video, I actually pulled this up. So if we take a look here, we have about a 2-to-1 Nvidia to AMD, which isn't a bad split at all. That number is slightly changing. We're getting a little bit more Nvidia votes as I'm about to close up the poll. But we've got 30% AMD, 64% Nvidia, which isn't, again, not too bad. So I'm going to end the poll. But if we look here, we've got AMD at 13%. So what I want to actually do is look at the latest gen GPU, specifically these numbers. But give me 1 second. Here it's a 6. Is that a 6-to-1 or 5-to-1? It's about a 5-to-1 ratio here. Yeah, 5 times. No, it's not 5. It's 6. It is 6. Wow, it's 6-to-1. Yeah, 6 times 3, 18 plus 60, 78. Wow, it's almost the exact 6-to-1 split here. So even though within our community and people watching the stream now, it's a pretty more balanced split. Almost 2-to-1 Nvidia to AMD. We've got a 6-to-1 according to Steam hardware survey of like everybody else out there. So Shroom just got a 6800 in the mail. Gonna be replacing your 1080 FE. Nice. Thank you for giving AMD a chance. I think you might be able to get 6800s for cheaper than 3070s right now. Yeah, Ozzy is super chill. He is super chill. I should try to get Ozzy on one of these streams one of these days. Just because he doesn't have a chance to make videos as consistently. He made one recently, but just so that people could see his face more than once every like 2 months. Yeah. Okay, so now if we were to go, so let me ask another question. Whoops. Oh, no, not the Q&A. All right. So the question is, and this is what I personally don't think is going to change even with this generation. Do you think this generation will be any different for AMD in terms of market share? As in terms of, do you think people will shift towards AMD more? When we take a look at the Steam hardware survey in like 6 months, do you think there's going to be more of a skew towards AMD? Or do you think nothing is going to change regardless of the performance that comes out? I know this is kind of like, you have to predict a little bit, right? Because we don't know AMD's numbers. But I'm kind of a pessimist when it comes to that. I don't think the market share is going to really move at all. I think it's going to be the exact same. Because let's take a look at the Steam hardware survey while you all answer that question. Of course, I'd like to see a yes. I would definitely like to see a yes. Because obviously more competition is better for us. Because then Nvidia will lower their prices too. But so when looking at Steam hardware survey numbers, you kind of have to dig a little bit deeper into it because a lot of people are still using previous generation cards. If you look at the top 3, which makes up, what is this? 18 or so % of all the graphics cards reported. We've got a 1650, a 2060, and then a 1060. You do have the 3060 right here, but then afterwards you have like a 1050 Ti. So a lot of these people are sitting on older generation cards. So they're not really relevant to the conversation until they upgrade their graphics cards. Some of these people bought their cards like 4 or 5 years ago. 3 to 5 years ago. So it's kind of hard. Extreme Zone says, give it 2 to 3 years and AMD will be on top. Nvidia is getting too greedy / shady as of late. 2 to 3 years, I even think. I don't even know. But what we can do here is, so let's go down. So we do have quite a bit of new cards though, regardless of people not upgrading graphics cards being the top 3 graphics card choices. We have the 3060 here, which holds 4th place, which is kind of impressive considering this is a current gen card. We have a 3070 down here that's not that far behind. We have 3060 Ti. So when it comes to current gen cards, people are buying them when they upgrade. For Nvidia, now let's keep going down. We're gonna scroll down. They have AMD Radeon graphics here. I think this is integrated GPUs, because otherwise it would specifically have the name. If we keep going down, I wish they would number these so we can see. I wish we could number this, but we gotta go all the way down this far into the list to be able to see the first AMD card, which was the RX 580, which I don't even remember the release date. What is that, 2017? Yeah, it was April 2017. So we're talking about a card that's 5.5 years old from AMD, is the first one to really make its way onto this chart. If we keep going down, RX 570 was pretty popular, which kind of makes sense, it being pretty close to the 580. But where is the current gen AMD cards? We've got last gen 5700 XT is the closest kind of high performing AMD card. And then we keep going down, then we see the 6600 XTs right here. Where's the 6600? It's so surprising given how cheap 6600s are. We're seeing like less than 1% of Steam hardware survey anyways, market share. It's more system issues than drivers issues with AMD, from AMD PC builders community, actually. Can you elaborate on this? Nvidia in 2-3 years will be out of the GPU market. They more Ion shares, AI and cars, whatnot. You really think so? I don't know. I don't really see that being out of the GPU market. Patrick McGovern says, when I first installed the 5700 I was having issues where it wasn't letting me control the fan curve and adrenaline software. It took me half an hour to realize it was being overridden by Afterburner. Yeah, that'll do that. Yeah, Demon Mitt. I would agree. Right, let's just take a look right now, because a lot of the people who are using these top 3 cards, maybe not the 2060, a little bit on the 2060 if you're going to like 6600 XT, but if you're on a 1650 or 1060, how do you not just go to Amazon or whatever equivalent, and then let's see, these are 280, which is actually a pretty good price, but look how low these are getting. 230, 200 for a year, okay, with a used one, and then they're about 200 on eBay last I checked. And you could sell your 1060 off probably for like 80 bucks, 70, 80 bucks. So really the upgrade for someone who's going from an older Nvidia card to AMD is so much cheaper. But if you want an equivalent 3060, I think those were like 370 when I last checked. Yeah, 370, 380, 400, 370 for this one. So we're talking about over easily like $100 of a price difference. More, almost closer to like $150 price difference. Hey, what did we just get a bunch of? Doback slaps with the 5 gifted memberships. Doback slaps, thank you. Also, did you pop it up in chat, Doback? Hey, thanks for the water reminder, Kevin. Did I miss something? Patrick McGovern says, not trying to be insulting, but if your PC was less stable than your Xbox, that, in my experience, is generally user error. Yeah, either that or it's you actually have hardware error. I can't remember in recent times any specific AMD platform or graphics card that would have like tons of issues. Who was this comment at? Yeah, Madness Rising. That's what I'm thinking. People keep paying whatever price Nvidia sets, so I agree the market share will not change. Yeah, like if I wanted to see RTX 4090, let's just say you wanted to pick up, you know, the $1,600 4090, where can you even do that? Toaster Time Machine? Okay. StockX seems to have them, but those are going to be overpriced. eBay has them. Those are all about $300 over. So it's going to be scalped about an additional $300. Yeah, none of these look like legit websites really, except for the ones that have the scalpers in it. So it goes to show that people are willing to still buy Nvidia cards out of stock, even when they're really expensive. Though it's kind of hard to speak on what the volume they had is. It could be that they had very low volume, but I don't know. We know some ballers like Dobak Slaps is able to go out and buy it very soon after it released. Which again, thanks for the super chats, Dobak, or not the super chats, but the gifted memberships. Ah, my light's flipping. $1650 Super has streaming chip. Wait, what streaming chip are you talking about? You're talking about NVIDIA encoder? Because if you get an RX 6600, you could easily... I haven't gone back and tested like an RX 480 or 580 with AMD's encoder. I need to do that. But it's like those cards are kind of starting to see their way out. Not many people are buying cards at those prices expecting to be able to stream with it. Craig Lilly says, I'm wondering, is EVGA really out of the GPU business? I mean, both Gamers Nexus and Jay's 2 cents got EVGA. Wait, did you mistype? Didn't they get 4090s? They didn't get 4050s, did they? Yeah, okay, yeah, you corrected it to 49. Gotcha. Yeah, and you can use QuickSync if you have a non-F, like, modern Intel CPU, so, yeah. Yeah, they got the prototype cards, which I think both, which person was it? Was it Jay who said he was sad because now we're missing out on actually good quality 4090s without connector issues and stuff like that? Do a challenge where you use a GTX 970 for 2 weeks. I'm trying to think. I mean, right now the main game I'm playing is World of Warcraft Wrath Classic, so that takes a potato to run. I wonder how streaming from the 970 would be, because that's got like the older NVENC, not the new NVENC. And I guess the only thing would be different would be for my video renders, that would be a lot slower with the 970 compared to the card I'm using right now. But yeah, maybe I can do that. I do have a 970 on hand. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, so I could do that. I just hopefully it wouldn't be a pain, because putting in my own personal system, changing out the drivers and stuff, hopefully it doesn't cause any weird issues. But yeah, so I do have a GTX 970, which I keep this on hand because this is like perfect for budget builds and stuff, or if I need to make videos regarding performance for budget builds. This pairs very well with older systems, so The 970 with blue trim, but there's a 970 with blue trim. I'm trying to think of which 970 that would be. A 1030. I actually have a 1030 as well. That would be easy to put in because it doesn't require the power connector. So, all right, I'm going to end the poll here. So in terms of everybody's answers, it looks like, do you think this generation will be any different for AMD in terms of market share? So some people seem to have hope that it will be different and that AMD could at least take back a little bit of the market share. We got about almost 60% votes saying yes, so that's more than half. I'm just pessimistic because I've seen, that you guys know about the internet time machine. So let's take a look back when so let's take a look at Steam hardware survey. We can go to the web archive and we could go back to, how far back does this go? It only goes back to 2018. I guess 4 years isn't that bad. But let's take a look at the side by side. So this is April 2018, about 4.5 years ago. We're gonna pull up what the market share looked like back then. March 2018. Oh, okay, let's see. So we had a this is current day, 6-to-1 ratio. Back 4.5 years ago, we had a 8-to-1 ratio. So we've seen improvements from there, but let's look at 2019. At what point did it kind of stagnate? Let's look at the middle of 2019. If this thing will load it. Alright, so this is about 3.5 years ago, almost 3.5 years ago. If we take a look at what the numbers were then, 75 and 14, it's almost identical. It's pretty close to what we have today. And I think from then on, that's what the ratio was, but we can go by year. The 2000 series cards were not impressive. Did AMD, well, this would be it right here, 2019. This was when RTX 2, like the 2060 and those released, 2070 and all of them around this time. So in 2019, before the pandemic, that's what we're looking at. Let me go to the middle of 2020, which is kind of tough because of the whole pandemic. So AMD actually had a very slight, I'd say a slight uptick, but it's pretty similar too. So here's 2020, middle of 2020, we had about 15 to 70, almost 75%. So very similar ratio. And then in 2021, and again, remember, this is just Steam hardware survey. This is not like the absolute answer. It's just kind of the closest thing that we have in terms of publicly available information that could be gathered. And then, yeah, so it seems like, if anything, they just went downhill from 29, no, this is 2018. Wait, where did it go? Let me pull up 2018 again. You are missing the point though. Only this generation was AMD worth buying, and the pandemic did not help. Steam charts take a long time to reflect current reality. I wouldn't say only this generation was worth buying. I'd say before the pandemic and crypto resurgence, the 5000 series was definitely worth buying as well. It was still the same situation. For the performance, you got better like FPS per dollar. But also, I feel like when the RX 480 and 580 dropped, those were really good cards for the time, given their price. And even then, they didn't have that many driver issues as what people were saying. I built so many systems and ran so many benchmarks using the RX 580 and 480. And it wasn't like they had massive driver issues like they did like a decade ago. So yeah, I don't think you can check by country. They don't let the filtering is not that strong on here. Yeah. I don't think let me see. Oh, that's not gonna do anything. Yeah, see, I agree. So I feel like AMD has gotten their stuff together ever since like the 300 series RX. Like the RX 380, that's when it was starting to pick up again. And then yeah, 480, 580, everything after that I felt like was good enough where I feel like AMD should have caught up a little bit, not regressed as what we're seeing from 2018 to now. And that's another thing too. It's kind of weird because nowadays we've seen the focus is so much on the higher end cards, like, and the pricing structure too. The days of cards being released targeted at like $200, I guess, are kind of gone. But remember the 480 and 580, they both had a version that was basically 200 or 220 or something like that. And that was for what was at the time considered mid-range performance. So that's all gone now. Now on Nvidia, you're looking at spending at least 300 for an RTX 3050, which is kind of more on the entry level than mid-range. But the 580 was the most boring, uninteresting because it was just a rebadged, kind of like what AMD kind of have been doing over the years. Like how the RX 280 to 380 was basically a refresh. Same thing was with the 580 and the 480, but it was hard to beat that pricing. Yeah, it's end of life, but what year was that released? 2015. Yeah, so we're at like 7.5 years, right? A little bit, yeah, about 7.5 years since it was released. So I think it's fine that it's at end of life. I had a 290X. Yours died? Mine didn't die. I had a 290X, but then I wanted to do a full system refresh, so I ended up selling it. I actually had a video about that when I had that green cube case. My first ever GPU from Robert Cow was an RX 270X that I got for $180. I like the 270X. Those were great budget cards when I started my channel out. At the time, I don't remember what they were going for. I'm starting to forget the prices. I remember I did a giveaway, giving one away. It was a Sapphire Toxic one, I think. But yeah. Yeah, by the time I made my channel, the 270X and like the 280s in them, those were a couple of years old. So they were hitting the used market at really good prices, so... Cult of Mush. That is a name I have not heard of in a long time. Cult of Mush. He never really built any of the systems, right? Didn't he just like come up with a parts list and didn't even build or test any of them? That's like the easiest way to start a tech channel. But I find like it's kind of hard. He built a big following from it, but it's like, how can you make all these different build lists if you never actually build or test anything yourself? Like, what credibility do you have? I don't think Cult of Mush does PC builds anymore, but I don't remember. I think he started shifting over to like game deals or something like that. Hey, what's up, Angel? I'm doing good. How are you? We're just talking about AMD market share, AMD if they're gonna have a chance in this coming year with their new releases, stuff like that. I'm mostly for the most part of this stream talking to the chat because we did get AMD's kind of like announcement release. Yes, it was last week, one day after the stream. It would have been perfect to talk about during the stream, but yeah, the news is about a week old now, so I'm just getting everyone's feelings about the AMD cards. Zushi Katatemoto, which I'm sorry if I'm butchering that again. Katatemoto, hopefully that's right. My first GPU was a GT 8120. What year was that even? I don't. It was that in the same that's the GT. That's in the same series as like the GTX 8600s, like 8800 GTs and stuff like that, right? Or is it not? I'm just going based off of the name. Extreme Zone says, anyone looking towards Black Friday / Cyber Monday, do you not care, even need anything? That's actually a good question. Let's ask a poll. Does okay. So for me, my answer to this question is I do not look forward to Black Friday or Cyber Monday in particular. We've seen it year and year again where like all the good stuff that you care about, like graphics cards and CPUs to some degree, they don't really get discounted, or maybe you'll get like a $10 discount. Typically it's the stuff that's like SSDs, you know, memory, stuff like that, maybe PC cases that go on sale. So the big juicy parts that affect the performance of your system typically don't go on sale all too much. I think one year we did have, I think it was last year actually, there was like a good deal on a CPU that sold out pretty quickly. So yeah, I think there's good enough deals year round that I don't look towards Black Friday or Cyber Monday. I know for laptops and stuff, you could typically find, and also if you buy pre-builts, companies will be running deals on those. But for individual PC hardware, it's been a while since I've gotten like a good deal on those. So Jason says, how often do you say stuff like poggers and pwned in real life to normies every day? I actually don't. Poggers, I guess pwned isn't really Twitch speak, but poggers definitely is. So I don't know anything about that because I was never, into that whole Twitch scene. Robert Cow is looking for a Cooler Master MM731. A gaming mouse. Oh yeah, mice and keyboards I found usually go on sale on Black Fridays and stuff too. So yeah, years ago it was much better. What do you think changed about it? I remembered, but this is a long time ago. We're talking like, maybe 10 years ago or longer. Black Friday deals on Newegg used to be really good. And Black Friday deals at stores too. These days I don't like going to brick and mortar just because of how hectic parking and standing in line and doorbuster deals and stuff like that is. But yeah, it's just something that I'm not too excited about these days. Though I'm pretty sure as we get closer to those, if it lines up with the stream, we could look at deals and see what is going on. Or if Newegg wants to like partner again, they've partnered with me during their sales for us to like just go browsing. So that's always fun. Honestly, I don't even know what poggers means. What is the context of saying poggers? like cool or something. Hey, Patrick McGovern, pizza. All right, where did you get the pizza from, and what toppings did you get? Okay, I know what PogChamp and what Poggers is, but if you were to use it in real life, what would be an example of context of what you would use it for? Isn't it like Pro Gamer Move from Pog? Papa John's, but only because my wife likes it. If something good happens, okay. Like when Doback Slaps did those gifted subs, you would say Poggers, right? My brother gets a cool backpack, and I say, that's pretty Poggers, bro. Okay, yeah, so. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're about an hour into stream now. Oh! I almost forgot. The stuff from AliExpress came in. We could do an unboxing right now. You know those light panel things from AliExpress? We could do an unboxing of that. Or we can go to Twitter and see any Twitter submissions. I don't even know if there's any Twitter submissions. Let me see. Pineapple people, pizza is Poggers? No way. That is the opposite of Poggers. Let me grab the boxes real quick. Alright. So I ended up ordering 2 different things. And in typical AliExpress, buying something from China fashion, you know how they always wrap it up? Like, there's a box, but then they put like a bag wrap on the outside of it. And this one's fully taped up. So, yeah, I bought 2 different things. I bought those hexagon panels and some RGB light sticks. So, I could open these, or we could do Twitter if people don't care about RGB lights. So, that is not very poggers. Thank you, Robert Cow, for the examples. Okay, let me log into Twitter real quick, though, because I have not logged into my incognito. Oh, you can buy verification now. So, we were talking a lot about Twitter, I think, at the end of last week's stream. Starting today, I started seeing people paying the $8 a month to get the Twitter verified badge. So, we could actually look at that also on Twitter. And we can get to the unboxing either next week or after we do some Twitter stuff. Because I think some people did submit some stuff. Let me try to sign in real quick. I always click the wrong thing. I click sign up instead of sign in. So, let's see. Okay. So let's go to... We'll go to Twitter. Give me 1 second. So if you guys want to submit anything to Twitter, PC part list, your setups, pictures of cute kitties, stuff like that, we can look on Twitter. But let me make sure it's in dark mode so that you guys don't get blinded. Alright, I think we're good. Alright, so if we go over to Twitter, we see, hey, Christopher Yee is on here, and he got his Twitter badge thingy. So is there any different verified account? It's so weird. How is this verification? And I'm not like, oh, what happened? Yeah. So, I mean, this isn't against Chris or any of my fellow content creator friends who decided to pay to get verified, but this is more of a criticism to Elon and Twitter. Like, wasn't the point of verification so that you had to provide some like form of proof that you are that person? And to be able to just pay $8 and get it with no checks whatsoever, what is to stop people from saying that they're another person and beating them to paying $8? Don't you still have to verify? What is subbing? So again, I'm not a huge Twitter person. I'm still learning about this every single day. But let me go down my list and see. Here's Seattle built PCs. They're pretty cool. They didn't buy their thing yet. Don't know who is this person. I get a lot of mutuals from people liking stuff. And then we got political stuff. Where is another person? I know Zach from Zach's Tech Turf got it as well. We got Last Claudia here. We got Brandon Lee, the boxer. Okay, where's that? I'm just gonna go straight. Oh, yeah. So Zach from Zach's Tech Turf has it now too, and he said pay to win. Yeah, because essentially that's what it is. He paid the $8 and now he has the verification. And he says 0 verification, literally pay and it's yours. So what are you guys' thoughts on that? Yeah, Jake from LTT did it and there was no verification as well. What is the point of it then? Twitter needs to die. No. I don't want Twitter to die. I think Twitter is still... I like Twitter. Like, there's a lot of crap on Twitter. It could be a cesspool sometimes, but if you're not into politics or drama and stuff like that, it's like for tech people specifically, it's a good way to communicate with other creators and stuff like that very easily without having individual DMs, as well as be able to get community input on stuff. So I like Twitter. I don't want it to die, but some of the choices they're making under Elon's leadership is a little weird. Robert Cal says, I have never used Twitter, but I'm excited to see how Elon escalates it to meme level. That's kind of where it's going right now. A lot of people are saying or noticing that it seems like Elon kind of bought Twitter, didn't really expecting to actually be able to buy it, and now he's having to figure out things on the fly. So yeah, advertisers have been leaving. Not only like other car manufacturers who are competing with Tesla, but just other people who don't agree with just what he's doing with Twitter. So okay, so we do have some submissions on Twitter, which we'll hop over in a second. I just want to see what everyone's thinking about Twitter at the moment. So yeah, Twitter verification is still very new at the moment. I'm sure it'll work itself out eventually, but it's kind of a crapshoot at the moment. Danny, there's always going to be other platforms popping up if Twitter dies that will work. Yeah, same if YouTube goes full paid only. Yeah, that is true. It's just, it sucks as a creator to have to rebuild your following. Like, for a lot of people, they use Twitter just to like keep up with stuff or to follow other people. But for people who like gain followers and use it for their other social media, like I use my Twitter mainly for my YouTube, having just to rebuild it up it's just a pain. So I definitely don't want to see it die in that regard. But am I on Odyssey yet? I don't even know what Odyssey is, and I don't know if I want to look. Last time someone recommended a website, it ended up being like more of a politically skewed website. So yeah, the YouTube community section is far better than Twitter. I've tried using the YouTube community section in the past. I feel like it still needs time to be adopted more because the interaction that I get there is usually far less than what I get on Twitter. But it's been a while since I posted anything on the YouTube community section just because it does hit a bigger following of people though, so maybe I should try. That's a good point. Hey, it's Joel. Blue badge different than the gray one? Didn't they take the gray badge away? There's no more gray badge. I think Elon removed it like almost instantly. I saw like an interaction between him and MKBHD, and he said we're killing it or axing it. So hey, what's up, Chad? All right, so let's go on to the Twitter submissions notification. All right, so what do we have here? So we do have a PC part picker list, as well as Jason submitting a Photoshop picture in typical Jason troll fashion. Okay, Odyssey is a video platform on the open source, okay, library protocol. Is it unbiased or is it biased? After last week going to that website, I don't remember what it was called, Rumble or something like that, right? And it was like definitely a far right leaning site, it seemed. I'm just curious. All right, so what is this? Who submitted this one, by the way? It's Sid. Okay, is Sid in the chat? Oh, Sidri, yes. Okay, you are in the chat. Please no flame. This is my first time trying to build. Lol. Have you bought this yet, or are you about to buy it? Twitter has only fangirls on it posting thirst traps now. They've always had people doing the thirst trap stuff. You haven't bought it yet. Okay, so let's take a look and see if we can help out Sidri pointing out anything regarding this build, whether or not they could change it up or just keep it as is. Okay, so what do we have here? We're starting with the 13600K. What's the total price? About 2300. Okay, 13600K. As we saw last week, this performs even in multi-threaded workloads pretty much on par with the i7 12700K. And I think it beat it in gaming because of the improved IPC. So, 300 bucks. Okay, we're good there. Arctic Liquid Freezer 2, 420 AIO. I'm good with that. Arctic freezers are pretty solid. You're getting some thermal paste. And you just want to game. The Arctic Cooler is 140. What would you switch it for, Zushi? I mean, you could probably be okay with the 280 millimeter, but honestly, this doesn't seem too outrageous for an AIO. Especially for 140 millimeter fans. Okay, we have a Z690 Aorus Elite motherboard. This one's, the price is locked in, so you either bought it already or found it on some deal. That you could get it for this for, so. Then we got Corsair Vengeance Pro for 32 gigabytes, pretty standard, CL16. Okay, so you're going DDR4 for this build. Motherboard's good with that. For 150, okay. 1 terabyte Western Digital drive. I mean, yeah, nothing. This is just a more premium drive. There are definitely 1 terabyte drives that are cheaper. Even PCIe 4.0 ones. They're usually around 100 bucks. But you got a 3080 Ti for 600 bucks. If you're getting it for that much, I'm not gonna try to sway anyone to AMD. Hey, what's up, Nate? Everyone is doing good. We are now helping out Sidri on a build that they want us to look at. So what are we saying about this? I mean, 600 bucks for a 3080 Ti? Yeah, I'm not gonna say, oh, you should consider AMD at all, because I think this is a really good price. 7000D airflow. This is such a big case. All right, I just want to ask you, have you really considered, like, have you measured out and like tried to envision in front of you how big this case is? The 7000D, it's huge. So if you do want a full ATX tower though, it's, you know, that's, are you gonna fill it out with anything else? What else do we have? Okay, RM, that's a really expensive power supply too. You could probably get something cheaper. You don't even really need 1000 watts. 3080 Ti, if you get a quality, so you can save a little bit on the power supply, but if you're thinking about the future, potentially upgrading to 4090 or something crazy, then you can keep this. So there's nothing I would for sure replace right now. I'm just pointing some things out, just based on my own biases though. But so you're getting some more fans, some Arctic fans, RGB ones, okay. Asia Horse matte, okay, that's fine. You like big cases, Nate, and you cannot lie. The 7000D is a lot of D. Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. But if they're only gaming, I don't. So you could really go either way. You go 4x8 or 2x16. 2x16 does give you the ability to add in more should you ever need 64 gigabytes in the future. So yeah, that's good that you pointed that out, Zushi. But they said they only need it for gaming, and I think for the like relevance of how long this build will last, I think that 32 could easily last them up till their next upgrade, where they will be replacing the RAM anyways, because by that point it will for sure be DDR5. So it's up to them. You can go either way, but that's something good to point out. A big case makes my PC look so powerful, even with the 1660 in it. Yeah. But overall, this build, oh, you do have the support bracket in here. You do have a GPU backplate. So you're spending a little bit more on the extra stuff that isn't completely necessary. Wait, what support bracket is this? Is this the CPU support bracket? Someone did make a good point, and I think Gamers Nexus did a pretty good coverage of it. CPU contact frame, only 20 bucks. Wasn't there a company that made it even cheaper than 20? And I thought when I saw Steve review it, it was pretty close. Like the cheaper one from like $1 per frames perspective was also worth it. If you want the best of the best, get the slightly more expensive one. But oh, that says GPU support bracket. So yeah, let me see if I can find that CPU. Was it from AliExpress or something like that? So we have the Thermal Grizzly. Oh, is it Thermal Grizzly? That's the expensive one. Which company had the cheaper one? Yeah, Thermal Grizzly is about 50 bucks. It's a Thermal Right one. That was the $20 one, right? Okay. Yeah, Thermal Right. Here we go. 17 on Amazon. So yeah. Let's see. See if we can find it on here. Okay, there it is. Thermalright. Whoa, is this one actually Thermalright down here? So this is from Thermalright for $12.88. This is also from Thermalright. So are they the same? Why is this one so much cheaper and it comes with thermal paste? Fully fixed. These look identical. I'm trying to look at the product name to see if there's anything different, but wow, this is even cheaper than what we were quoting. So yeah. Other than that though, I mean, I don't think there's anything else to really nitpick. We're looking at $2,300 and we get a bunch of custom stuff in here, and you're getting a 3080 Ti with a 13600K. Not too much I would change. Everything else would be kind of either by bias or preference. There's nothing, when I usually look at these lists, I try to look for anything that looks very wrong. Like, but yeah, I think you did a pretty good job putting this together as is. We did get some input, you know, on either you could change out the RAM if you want, get the contact frame, which does seem like a pretty good deal, coming in at $13 right here with the thermal paste included. So yeah. Yeah, it helps the cooler, like the plate of the cooler make, I guess, more even contact with the CPU IHS. So Mobamba says, yeah, I do look at system integrator prices. If you have anything you want me to look at, Mobamba, we could pull it up. Oh, was it? Okay, let me see. So this one in stock, sold by Thermalright Direct 2 for 13 bucks and free shipping. The other one is sold by IHTP. Okay, so it's from, what is this? Is this just some, it's just some storefront, okay, that sells stuff. Yeah, so I'll get the one directly from Thermalright for $12.88. Pretty good price. Okay. So what else do we have here? All right, so you made a setup submission. All right, so hopefully that helps, Sidri. You did a pretty good job. So not a ton to critique or like to try to give suggestions on. So, which I think when you're going with kind of like higher end or newer stuff, it's pretty. I guess it's easier to get it right. No, Joel, if you want to submit, feel free to submit. It's not too late. I could rate it. Yeah, we can save unboxings for next time. Just because I totally forgot about it until it was brought up. So, yeah. Feel free to submit. Next one on Twitter, we got Jason Whitmer says, no streams. Still working on it. So, what Jason is doing is he's been like painting and getting his office ready. So, cat destroyed my mouse pad. Oh no. Yo, do you have a picture of it? I'm curious how badly it could have been destroyed. Mouse pads are pretty durable. So, so then there's him taking a picture of my merch with me and my wife and photoshopping his head onto it. So that's always a nice sight to see. But all right, this is what. So Jason actually switched the case he had. He had the same one as me, the Hyte Y60, Y50. I can't remember the name. Again, I'm very bad when it comes to random numbers and letters in case names. But my mini ITX was too annoying for him, so he went up to micro ATX, which I would also agree is more convenient. With micro ATX, you have way more more space to work around, as well as is not as annoying when you're working with like a CPU cooler and stuff like that as an ITX case. But very nice setup. Got the 3 monitor going on, the mic arm right here. I don't think, do you use dual PCs, Jason? Yeah, no Photoshop. Yeah, sure. What's the second PC on the bottom here? Is that hooked up to anything there? Or is this single PC running all 3? But you do have... Oh, wait, this is interesting. This is a standing desk, it looks like. Oh, and then you put the drawer unit under it next to it. It looks like just the location it is, there wouldn't be a leg on this side, but... Okay, so you have your home server down here, on the ground. Everything else, yeah, is that a Google Home? You have a Google Home at your table? Interesting. We have one in our kitchen. But yeah, I'm excited to see what the rest of your setup and like a big wide shot of your whole setup once it's all done. Because I know you're still working on it, but at least you got your desk back. Google, no. What is this thing then? That's not a Google Home? That does not look like a normal tablet. Unless that's like a mini monitor type thing. I don't think the bezels are too big for an iPad. Oh, it's an Echo Home. Okay. Yeah, it definitely was not a normal tablet. But okay. What is this? Is this just an external hard drive or a drawer? I can't really see based on this picture. Maybe if we can zoom in a bit. What do we got here? Or is that like an audio mixer? Maybe it's an audio mixer. Oh, audio okay, and the USB charging hub. Got it. Yeah, I need to do more under desk mount stuff. I have a lot of desktop real estate, and I need to put drawers and stuff so I can keep my desktop clean. Also, somebody noticed the Ethernet. It looks like Yo, is that white cable you're running Ethernet in? So yeah. The type of desk, what is this in no, I don't think it would be an IKEA desk. It's probably whatever brand this standing desk is. Yeah, what desk is this? but yeah, dude, I have a running Ethernet cable too because I'm not willing to fish cables through the walls. It'd be way too difficult for me to do, and Wi-Fi is not fast enough. But I run mine along like under the floorboard or really high. So yeah, we got that going on here. Oh, the butcher block. Okay, you bought and stained yourself, and then you got standing legs on Amazon. Okay, got it. But thanks for the submission here and the non-Photoshop image, Jason. I appreciate your submission weekly. All right, did anyone submit anything else? We do have Ahmed, as well as iShagers. Hopefully I said that right. Okay. Uh-oh, that one went away. Ahmed, just sold my PC to buy a laptop for university. Pretty gutted, but sacrifices have to be made. That is true. I don't think I could have imagined having a laptop or a desktop while in school. First of all, the dorm rooms don't give you that much space. But second, I could only choose one because I didn't have enough money to afford both. So laptop was the obvious choice. So that might be the situation that this person is in here. But here's your setup. You got your mouse. How come the mouse mat is halfway off the desk? Wouldn't you still want it on the desk so you get more mousing surface over here on the right? But you got a Meteo mouse pad. Am I saying that right? Meteo. Then you also have a PlayStation controller. Do you have the console itself, or do you just use this to game on the PC with wirelessly? Oh, you need the space for studying. Got it. You can study on the mouse mat. You could lay your books on it, and you could put your cup of water on it, because all these mouse mats are usually waterproof. So yeah. Robert Cow says, I had a mini ITX system and business laptop for all 4 years of college, I'm assuming. Getting the PC back and forth was a pain. And that was with a mini ITX, indeed. The thing about a laptop that's really nice is it also has the monitor on it. So by going with a laptop, you could virtually eliminate so many cables that would normally go to both your desktop and your and your monitor. And to some degree, even a speaker system too. Because laptop speakers aren't the best, but hey, it has built-in speakers. I guess you could argue the same with the monitor, but yeah. Yeah, that's a Chinese mousepad and keyboard. I mean, some of these really budget... Is that mechanical? Some of the cheapest mechanical keyboards I have found have been the most fun to play with. It's a balance between how functional is this thing and how cheap can it get. And I've done, I've checked out a handful of like $20 to $30 mechanical keyboards, and they're always pretty fun to play with. But after a while, they all become the same thing, so yeah. Oh, you do have a PS4 on the laptop, got it. Not all mouse mats are not waterproof. What? That's a double negative. But I would say, from what I've seen, almost every mouse mat that I've seen has been advertised to be waterproof. And usually they are. Like the one I have in front of me right now on my desk is waterproof. And by waterproof, I don't think they mean like repels water. Typically, I think they mean waterproof in like, or like that it won't soak up water. I think what they mean is, it usually is, they will not be damaged by water, which isn't that hard to do. I mean, it's like rubberized materials and like fabric and stuff, so. Okay, next up we have, okay, this one right here. So here's a PC part picker list from iShagers. So yeah. I've seen some mouse mats go moldy. Okay, I have not seen that. I've spilled water or put water on my mouse mat to clean plenty of times without specifically drying it up. And I've never seen moldy, so I'm curious. So long as it gets air dried, it should not go moldy. It's no different than getting a piece of cloth wet. And then letting it like air dry, so that's interesting. This list is private. Shagers, I cannot see this list. It is private. No. Patrick McGovern. I got the Huntsman Elite for $4 from my neighbor thrift store. Huntsman Elite. That's the game that Kyle plays, isn't it, Jason? It seems interesting, but I probably suck at it. So I would never want to play with Kyle and them. Because I know they can get so frustrated when they play games sometimes. Metal mouse pads will outlive you. Oh man, I cannot imagine trying to use a metal mouse pad. Are those really a thing? How is there not just a ton of friction on it? Metal mouse pad, okay. So this looks like something that Apple users would use with their Magic Mouse. And every image of it shows a Magic Mouse or similar on it, okay. Metal mouse pad is like using a glass cutting board. That's what I would kind of think. That doesn't, first of all, it wouldn't be soft for your hands, like for your wrists when you're gliding across it, but also for the feet of the mouse. I don't know, there's gonna be some friction that's gonna wear down the feet of the mouse, I feel. Yeah, it seems kind of strange. All right, we got some more. All right, we got Joel here. Hey, it's Joel. Wow. Okay, and then we got Demon MIT1, if I'm saying that right. And then let's see if this list, nope, still private. All right, so we got quite a bit of stuff here. Okay, so side panel is usually on. PC part picker list, Canada. Joe is Canadian. We've got a 5600 in it, GAMX 400 cooler. What else do we have? We've got 1 terabyte, another terabyte, and a 3rd terabyte. You got a lot of SATA SSDs. And then you got your 980 NVMe. Here you got a 1060, 1151 in a fractal defined R5 and an ASA PSA. I've not heard of this PSU. I mean, I've heard of ASA, but something about the glowing blue fan reminds me of like those old Raid Maxes and stuff. Oh yeah, I do not. This does not instill confidence in me. For a quick reference, let's take a look at the tier list. It looks cheap, but it might not be too bad. Let's see if there's actually a dedicated review on it. A lot of people in the chat are saying they're gonna pass on the PSU, but let's take a look. Blue LED always screams old. Yeah, that was definitely something of like the 2010s era. It's an RGB fan. Okay, so it is RGB, but let's see what how far they are on this list. All right. So what PSU is it again? The ASA PSAZ. This seems like a PSU that might not even have enough information to make it on the list. But ASA does have some C tier units on here. It starts at C tier, but again, as always, take this with a grain of salt. Okay, PSU tier list is not the absolute answer for power supplies. So PSAZ. Yep, this is PSAZ indeed. What is the 650 watt one? It's not even on here. Wattage. Let me look down the list again. As a Q box. Okay, so there's only, I'm just gonna assume all the PSAZs are gold. But it's in a speculative position, and I think it's because there's no actual review for this power supply. Which again, Joel, if it's been serving you like fine, then it's whatever. But we would have to pull up the spreadsheet, which again, if you don't know how the PSU tier list works, you got your information here, which is readily available for a quick reference. But if you want, you can open up the spreadsheet that they have right here, and you can look more into the details of things. So we're gonna do that. And this is where you can actually find out the actual reviews for individual units. But let's look at the index. Let's see if we can find ASA in here at all. For the most part, I think this is fine, but I also think it's always fun to do a little bit more of like a deep dive. Where is it? We can look at all sheets. Okay, fine. Okay, done. So here, if you want ARGB, So within the spreadsheet, you can actually look for, I think this is going to be in a different language. Uh-oh. Thanks for the reminder. Okay. So for this unit, which this, so this is, it seems like they have used the same name over the years, because if you look at this PSAZ from Azza, this looks nothing like the one that Joel has. It could use like the same platform and internals and stuff like that. It's kind of hard to tell, so you'd have to definitely deep dive this further. And then here, can we translate this? Does this easily translate to English? What year was this written? This was 2021, so yeah. Yeah, it's fine. But if you have this one, then it looks like, first look, based on what they could find, it's a C tier. Is there any testing done with this? It doesn't look like there's actually any testing on the one review that they've aggregated on it. Yeah, they open it up, they look inside a little bit, look at the capacitors, I guess, but there's no actual testing done with professional equipment, so. Okay, but other than that, what else? Everything else, your system, you're definitely, you've got a really good system here. Like, 32 gigabytes of RAM, modern day processor, you got, you know, 4 terabytes worth of solid state storage, power supplies, whatever. You don't have that powerful of a graphics card, so I'm not too worried about this kind of weird power supply, or whatever it may be, the one that you actually have. But I forget, Joel, remind me, what is your situation with the graphics card? Are you saving money to upgrade from your 1060? And are you not going to AMD because you want the CUDA performance, is what you were saying, from the 1060? You piece this together. Let's see. Oh, you have this one. So this is the one that we were looking at. Okay, yeah, it looked like you definitely picked the wrong one. Because the one that you actually picked looked like something from 2010. But okay, yeah, something like this. There's not enough information to actually like give more of an opinion on it, but your system isn't anything too crazy. I don't think this is an issue at all. But that's why I kind of wish, so Gamers Nexus started getting the power supply reviews, but they've only done one roundup, right? With like the cheap power supplies. I think they're so, like, if they started doing more power supplies, I do not care about the platinum and gold rated, titanium rated, $200-$300 power supplies. You know those are going to be A tier no matter what. They got their hands on PSU testing equipment. The most juicy reviews are going to come from the sub, like, $70, $60 power supplies. So, if you all could help me out and ask Gamers Nexus anytime they ask to review the cheapest random no-name power supplies or do a roundup on it, I think that would be way more helpful for people. Because what we see a lot is there's this hive mind mentality that if you use a cheap power supply, your house is going to burn down. And that's not always the case. Or it's going to damage your system. That's not always the case. I think there are a lot of power supplies out that fall on the, like, even D tier of the power supply tier list that could be okay, given their price, given you're not putting it with the RTX 4090. Like, and I wish there were more reviews of that so that people know that those could be okay choices if they were priced low enough. Yeah, not all cheap PSU are garbage. We just don't have that much information on them out there, so a lot of people tend to think that they are hot garbage when they could be passable. So that is my plea. So please, you know, if Steve ever asks about it, ask him to review some cheap power supplies. In the latest video that he did, all of the power supplies were deemed okay, and some of them I think fell in the C and D tier of the PSU tier list. So it's like, are you going to listen to a tier list that says don't get this unless it's for like the cheapest builds, or are you going to listen to Steve from Gamers Nexus who actually tested it to like 100% load and beyond? That's just my thoughts on it. Power supplies are a weird finicky thing. I wish I could like get into it, but that is just not feasible for most people to have the right equipment. But going back to Joel's list, sorry. We're going all over the place. Tech Jesus is better than some spreadsheet. I agree. I wholly agree. But yeah, okay. Did Joel answer the question regarding the graphics card? I got the PSU new from a buddy for real cheap. Yep. I mean, yeah, it's fine. I'll probably at one point. I mean, honestly, your power supply is fine for now. What is your plan for graphics card upgrades though, Joel? I forget. In terms of like your financial situation or what you're planning on getting. Don't know if you read this, but mine. Okay, so iShager's resubmitted and it's not private anymore. Okay, we can take a look at it. So I've had an E-machine computer and an HP that had crappy power supplies in them that didn't last long. Yeah, those would be office PCs that, or are you talking about ones that you put graphics cards into? The crappy power supplies, if you're only running like CPU with integrated graphics for like an office use, those power supplies could, I've seen them like last years, but hold on to a good deal. But Joel, it looks like you're looking for only Nvidia, it sounds like. Yeah, millions of people have used crappy PSUs for 10 plus years with no issues. So obviously if you have a choice and you're building a gaming PC that is actually utilizing the PSU more than just the CPU, then definitely choose something that's, you know, either reputable or higher quality. But if you can't, then some of these random no-name PSUs, some of them have stood the test of time. So yeah, I think UPS is also a pretty good investment, though. Man, they are big and they're decently big and they take up some space, so they can be inconvenient from times because they are heavy due to the batteries inside of them. Awesome. What kind of cool things can you get with member? Well, with membership, you do get all the different custom emotes, as well as a badge next to your name. There's not anything too far beyond that. Membership prices are super cheap. I wanted a low barrier to entry, so it's not like you get any like private videos or anything like that. Treat it like how Twitch streamers treat their subs. For the most part, it's for using on stream or in the comments of videos. You could use these emojis, you get the badge, you get merch discounts from the community tab, and then that's about it. So yeah. Discounted merch, which I am not wearing. The discount on merch already pays for the 1 month of membership. So look at the fan on that card though. This fan. Oh, let's go back to. Yeah, so you got the 1060 was 110 CAD a month back. Oh yeah, you said it had this. Yeah. Let me pull up that picture again. Sorry, I totally overlooked that part. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? And we got other submissions too. All right. Here it is. So now we're gonna pull up. We're gonna look at this picture, and we're not necessarily gonna roast, but. Oh man, he's getting close to dinner time. Alright, so here is alright. Joel, what did you answer when it came to how often do you clean your PC? Just looking at all the black surfaces on this computer, it looks like it might be time for you to take your PC out and blow some air through it. But okay. What's going on here? Do you have a pull configuration on your deep cool cooler? This was built. Okay, so we've gone through the specs pretty extensively. Now we're gonna go to the actual execution of Joel building, which Joel, this isn't gonna be a roast or anything, but this is just gonna be some advice or critiquing. So do you have exhaust pulling out from the back or pulling air in? What is the airflow direction? Because to me, it almost looks like these two are fighting each other. typically, yeah, and your deep cool cooler, the logo is upside down. So it looks like air is being pulled in this way. But this fan, it looks like for sure air is being pulled out this way. Yeah, so the CPU, cooler, and fan look like it's backwards. You want airflow to not be fighting each other. In this image, you're gonna have air trying to be pulled down this way from wherever it could be, you know, either from the bottom here or from the top. Also being like fought with this exhaust fan trying to pull air this way. So you want like one continuous stream. I'm assuming from the front. It looks like you do have RGB fans here from the front. So you want air to be pulled in this way. And then you want the CPU cooler to take that air and continue pulling it through and then out the back. Which, am I blind? I can't see. You can see the arrows on the fan? Really? Am I blind? I guess these are the arrows. That didn't look like arrows to me. But yeah, it looks like you should face this. Flip this. To the front and up. This was to get me running up again, do a better build next year. Yeah, this one, alright, so to be honest, with this one, you don't even need to take the cooler off. You can just take the fan, because I know how this one, it clips on, right? You could just take the fan, undo the clips, move it to this other side. You can leave this with the logo upside down, and then put it over there. In terms of dust filters on this, what case was this again? The fractal design? What does the front of that look like? So it looks like in terms of airflow, you only get the side vents. And looking at that, it doesn't look like those vents really have dust filters. Yeah, you could do either way. You could turn the cooler around, which would require unscrewing it, or just move the fan if you want to fix the logo too. But yeah, other than that, this case is a little bit older. Wait, yeah, so it doesn't have stuff like a power supply shroud that you can hide all this stuff from. But yeah, other than that, for graphics card, I don't know what you would upgrade from in terms of your main specs. But yeah, you got that Zotac card with that very interesting cooler attached to it. You had an MX Master 3? I need a reminder of what that looks like. What an MX Master 3 case. Is that a case or is the name different? Because I'm only coming up with the mouse when I look up MX Master 3. Alright, but yeah, I'm very curious, Joel, once you do finally upgrade your graphics card, what you end up getting. So keep us updated and resubmit new pictures once you, you know, get that in and flip the cooler and all of that. So thank you for submitting, though. I appreciate it. Always fun to look at, you know, especially returning viewers of the stream, people that are always here. Always fun to look at what they have in their builds and setups. All right, we got Golden One. Nade shot the god. Okay. Let's take a... Oh, no. They deleted their thing. No, I wanted to see that setup. It looked really cool. Alright, so we did have iShakers unprivated this list. My next upgrade, I already have some of the components. Yeah, if you guys want to post your setup, I always love looking at stuff. Always love showcasing or like spreading what, you know, people when they put together their PCs or their setups, they have pride in what they do. So It's always fun to share and take a look at and talk about them. So yeah, this is a good chance for me to do that to the viewers, because on my channel I can always easily share like my own systems or my setups and stuff. So it's nice to see some of the setups of the people out there. But this is the system, your next upgrade. You're going with the 7900X. So this is, oh my goodness, I just saw the total at the bottom. $5,500. All right, let's see what this, oh my goodness, this build. It is 10 to 7. So I am starving. So we gotta wrap this up, and then that'll be it for the stream. But let's finish off on Twitter. Thanks for the reminder, Chris. Is that CAD? This looks like USD. I do not see. Yeah, we got normal, not Canadian PC part picker here. So let's take a look at this baller PC. We've got a Ryzen 9 7900X coming in at $550. We've got a 360mm AIO with no price available because they might already have it from Arctic. Yeah, the Freezer 2. We've got a Crosshair $700 motherboard. I don't know how often this happens, but when a motherboard costs more than the CPU, and the CPU is already a really like high-end new one, I typically would, let me try to think. Should there ever be any situation where the motherboard costs more than the CPU itself? I can't really think of one. The only reason I can think of one is like if you're going with like an i3 Intel open box for like $60, and then the motherboard, because you know motherboards can sometimes be expensive, and then it was like a $70 motherboard, but not in a situation like this where we're talking about a $700 motherboard. If it's, yeah, okay, if it's a modded motherboard for extreme OC / liquid cooling, still, I guess, is money an issue for you at all? Angel, wait, this was Angel's, right? Yeah, same last name. It's spin out. Yeah, so I guess if you have plenty of money to spend, which it sounds like you do, because a $5,500 PC is kind of, to me, insane. 700, yeah, agree. 700. So, okay, it's not an issue for you. Okay, I still feel like there's better ways to spend the money, but I don't know. Like, you're getting a 7900X, and this Crosshair motherboard, but you're only putting a 360mm AIO on it. Like that, to me, that doesn't seem like a match that makes sense. Huh, and random number calling. I'm not picking that up. Yeah, I mean, it's your money. Definitely spend it how you want. But for something like this, especially in this price range, I'm kind of expecting a custom loop system, not an AIO. Like I'm expecting, like, you know, hard tube bending and all that stuff. But if we keep going on, 64 gigabytes of memory, okay, 1 terabyte SSD, 4 terabyte SATA drive. We've got a $2,700 4090. Let me look at this thing. Oh, is it CAD? This graphics card does seem overpriced. It's almost $1,000. It is more than $1,000 over an MSRP non-cooled card. Let me see. Where's this? This is taking me to US Amazon and stuff. So I think this is a US list. Yeah, it's overpriced. I'm not paying $2K for that card, lol. Yeah, definitely do not first of all, you could already shave $1,000 off of this if you choose a more reasonable 4090. It's the best 4090, but how much better is it than other 4090s is the question. Are you paying $1,000 for like 5% gains here? Like, what are we talking? I haven't seen the results for this one specifically, but yeah. Dude, if you got a 7900 XTX instead, you would be shaving off potentially $1,700 from the price. Yeah, you could use it for smart access memory. Though I think you should still have resizable bar support or smart access memory support with the other way around. Because I know with Intel, when you turn on resizable bar, it is compatible with AMD graphics card, and resizable bar and smart access memory is basically the same thing with different naming on it. But I haven't seen side by sides. I'm pretty sure it still works because doesn't Hardware Unbox test with the 5800 X3D, and he tested Nvidia cards, like the latest round of 4090 cards. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm pretty sure it would work either way though. So I don't think the pairing of, I don't know if the pairing of AMD aside from smart access memory, if there's anything else that's going on between the communication between the two that's beneficial. Hey, what's up, Tavi? Haven't been on stream for the last few months, but I'm back. Glad to have you back. We're just doing the same thing we've always been doing. So, you know, some people, honestly, I think it's hard to keep up with the stream and be here every single week. So for the people who do come out and support the stream every single week for like the last year or so, I don't know how you haven't gotten sick of me yet. Because honestly, I would be sick of any stream that I watch week in and week out for a year straight. But I do appreciate it. But yeah, you know, welcome back. Always good to see people who have, you know, taken a break and then come back. So and Shutter Thug, finally after 100 years I'm able to be here for a live stream. Glad you can make the stream as well. Bro, some people stream every single day and people watch the whole thing every day. So that's mind-blowing to me. But usually they're watching big creators at least. Like, I'm a small creator, or a medium-sized one, I guess you would say. So to think that I have enough of an impact for people to want to watch every single week, I still think it's pretty crazy. So much love to you all out there for the support. I appreciate it. Yeah, I do try to at least have interesting and different chats every single week. So there's always something that we can look at or someone we can help. So hopefully that keeps it different. Or, you know, the change of pace keeps it so that it's interesting enough to watch. So what's happening here? How do you even say that? Lucreus? Hopefully I said that right. So every single week on stream we do different things. Typically I start the first half of the stream off talking about a specific topic. Today we talked a little bit about AMD's new 7900 XTX, as well as I get people's opinions and we just discuss you know, what's going on in tech news, or sometimes I build a PC. But the second half of stream we dedicate to showcasing viewers, setups, reviews, looking at their PC part pickers list, answering people's questions to hopefully help them out if they have any. So yeah, that's what the streams are. And then Black Friday, maybe we can do a deal hunting stream. We do everything here for the most part. Yeah, so this build list, I mean, aside from being the most ridiculous stuff thrown into a single build, the motherboard, I think for me, like if I had to change one thing about this build, it's tough. It's actually two things. Video card and motherboard are the two biggest like sore thumbs that stick out for me. Everything else isn't too unreasonable. The memory is kind of expensive. Part of it is being DDR5, part of it is being Trident Z. Hey, Joel. So basically, Joel, when you do your update from your system that you had, I would say PSU and case at the same time, because when you remove your motherboard and everything from the old case to put into a new one, you're already gonna have to disconnect the PSU and reroute all the cables. So I would try to do that in one shot if possible. Case and power supply are one of the things that lasts many years. So if you get a quality case and quality power supply, you may not have to separate the two for like the next 7 years. It could last at least 2 upgrade cycles. So yeah. Is the Defiant R5 that bad? No, it's not that bad. It's just kind of old. It's from like before like power supply basements made everything look way cleaner. The airflow isn't the best in it. I guess you said you could open it up, right? You can open up the front. But then do you really want a swinging door open the entire time? Or would you just rather have a mesh front that you can see your nice RGB fans through? So it's really up to you. Oh, you need drive bays? Yeah, that's the tough thing. Why do you need drive bays? Did you have a spinning hard drive in your system? I thought you mostly had 2.5 inch, which is an SSD. You can just shove those in the power supply basement. You don't really need drive bays if all you have are SATA SSDs. And most cases have enough room for at least 2 3.5 inch spinning drives. So wait, let me go back to the picture. Did I miss something? You say you have a bunch of drives, but all I'm seeing here is a bunch of your SATA SSDs. You have one spinning drive, it looks like. Yeah, with the 2.5 inch drive, you can either leave them free hanging there, because you know there shouldn't be, unless even when you're moving it, there's minor impact. I'm not trying to talk people out of their hard drive bays, Nate, but what I'm seeing in this case right here, he says he has a lot of drives. I'm not seeing it. Unless there's something going on in the back that I cannot see. I'm not seeing a ton of drives like yeah, it's 2 drives. Even though he showed 3 of these SSDs. So yeah, I don't think you really need the drives, Joel, unless there's something we're not seeing here in the picture. But let's see what else we have. Yeah, so regarding that really expensive list though, I mean there's not much else except for the graphics card and motherboard. Apparently you want to overclock. You should definitely look into how much better of an overclocker this is compared to say a $300 or $400 board. Because if you're talking about like minimal performance differences, what are you really spending the extra $200, $300 for? Okay, it is past 7. We gotta finish up with the rest of these Twitter submissions, and then I gotta go eat dinner. I don't know if Melissa is sleeping or not, but we got 2 left, and then we got some new follows. Thank you, Lynnwood. I don't know if you followed me based on the stream or based on just coming across me on Twitter in general, but all right. So we got, oh no, Lynnwood submitted on here. So, oh my goodness. Okay, we gotta make this. Oh, nope, that didn't work. Can I copy video address? Can I open it in its own thing? I want to zoom in on this more. What is for dinner tonight? Well, I made some butter chicken, and by saying making, I emptied a jar of it. Someone's call. Why is this number keeps calling me? It might be an important call. Let me look this up real quick. Give me 1 second. Comedy Calls San Diego. Huh. Not sure who the heck that is, but okay. Yeah, I made butter chicken and some basmati rice, so that's leftovers for me today. Okay, so this, I wish we got a whole, like, the video of the entire build, but those look like the, what, Lian Li Unifans. I don't know what case this is in. It looks like a... what is this one? Yeah, can anyone tell what case this is? Oh, this is the 4000D airflow? Huh. Oh, okay. Okay, I can see it now. The Corsair cases, their little expansion slot brackets, they do have this kind of triangular tessellation thing going on. So, okay. I see it. Dude, this is a very sick looking build. Did you put the specs? I'm not sure if you put the specs. It doesn't look like you put it, but maybe you can tell us in the chat. They want to talk to me about my car's extended warranty. I don't know about that. Yeah, those are for yeah, those are Lian Lee fans for sure. Okay, Angel posted underneath the tweet. So we're gonna finish this up now. We got Patrick McGovern with the his build, and then where's it at? Angel, where did you go? Oh, Demon Mitt. Okay, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna finish here. Oh, here's the build that you have so far. I already got the case, storage, liquid cooler, and PSU. I code a lot, but I'm gonna use it mostly for gaming. Okay. So I totally missed this part of your tweet earlier, but here is the build and setup that you have. Alright. Pretty rainbowy, colorful case. And then what do we have here? We got Dragon Ball in the background, 2 monitors with the mic setup with the I think those are the Elgato key lights. Got a DSLR for the webcam portion of it. Very nice setup. I like the ambiance. You got the PlayStation stuff here. So I can see why now money isn't that much of an issue. Not saying that your setup is like super over the top or anything, but you do have like a nicer than a typical person setup with a nicer camera that you're using for face camming purposes, and then like the key lights and stuff. So, and it looks like you already have a 30 something in the background. What is this? You have an RTX 3090. So yeah, people who buy 3090s, especially, you know, in the last year or two, definitely have more money to spend. Alright. And then we got a couple more. Patrick McGovern with a very simple Thermaltake Smart Power Supply GTX. What was it? This was your clean flip, you said? That's an NZXT motherboard, right? Oh, no, it might not actually be. Those covers look a little bit different. But this is like a pretty clean, sleek interior black build with a... What graphics card was this? Oh! i7 3770 780 Ti using AIO, bought from the thrift store for $6. That's deal hunting to the extreme. $6? Who would let... I guess they donated the AIO. I don't think I've ever seen computer components at like a Goodwill. Maybe like old monitors and stuff like that, but never like internal PC components. So pretty sick deal you've got here. 780. Yeah. You got the 780 Ti. I love those founders or reference cards. And then there's the front of the case. Yeah. It was missing fans. Alright, what is that sound? Alright, we got one more thing. I hear some beeping upstairs, like a bunch of microwave presses, so... Alright, this is the last one. I'm out of water. I cannot drink any more water, so this has to be the last one. I wonder if it's a song. Let me change it. It might be the song. Nope, the beeping is still going on. Is someone upstairs beeping? I wonder if that's Melissa messing with me. Okay. Wow. So Demon MIT 1 or Demon Mitt 1. Thoughts on my professional PC builder home setup and workshop. All right, here we go. We don't see something like this all too often. So professional. So Demon Mitt builds PCs in this area, and also, oh my god, those monitors. All right, let's take a look. We got some ultra wide on the side with a bunch of graphics. So yeah, I'm guessing this is from all the PC building that you did, all the systems, and then you get to keep the boxes, right? That's the fun part of it. You get to make a castle of boxes. Yeah, I don't know if that's the hint. We'll see. Cause she didn't say anything when I yelled up the stairs, so. Babe, is that you beeping? I'm gonna check the cameras in the house. It's not her. Yeah, it must be a ghost doing it. Okay, this setup looks really, really clean. Actually, cable management, what's going on down here? So it looks really clean for the most part, but then underneath this desk, cable management could be worked on, but whatever. Other than that though, like everything on top of the desk and your shelf looks very clean. So you've got 5 monitors. Is that 5 monitors attached to one system? Or are any of the monitors attached to another system that we can't see? Here's a front view of what it looks like if you were sitting at the setup. I like this view, actually. Cable management, you're right. It's Nate. It is not functional a lot of the times, especially if you modify your setup at all. Because then you have to undo it all and stuff like that. So, it really depends. I guess for someone like this, it seems like they are very much a tinkerer. So yeah, cable management can be a pain to do and undo and do and undo. So yeah. How do multiple monitors get connected to one PC? Well, that's why I'm curious. Are you running, what's your system? Too many parts of the list. Main rig is a 5950X. With the RTX 3090 custom loop, Quadro. Oh, okay. So yeah, they are running like an additional card for more display to run 6 monitors. Whoa. Okay, wait up. So this 6 monitor is also attached to the PC. Okay. Good point. Good point. We're gonna run the last poll of the night. What happened to the chat? Oh my god, my chat got all messed up. Give me 1 second. Gotta take my dog for a walk. See you folks. Hey, take it easy, Joe. The ultra wide is the editing station. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Get a longer timeline. Here's another angle of the setup. Got a bunch of motherboard boxes. Got a bunch of these plastic bins for all the different tools and screws and stuff. It looks like the sound dampening panel. Is this just for aesthetics or for actual sound? Like, you know, reduction of sound waves bouncing off the walls and stuff like that. Yeah, this is a very nice setup. You got tons of desk space. Like you got like a U. Wait, so is that going there? And then another on this side. It looks like you have a TV with what looks to be a sound bar, a bunch of stuff that you put on the wall, like a pegboard type thing, 4 monitors here. Yeah. This is the, and then you got this IKEA. It looks like an IKEA, anyways. 8 cube shelf thing. Wow. Wait, so is the beeping coming through the mic? Because that's coming from upstairs, and I can faintly hear it. I'm surprised it's getting through to the mic, though. Yeah, sorry about that. I'll figure it out. The microwave, I have no idea why it would be beeping. So apologies on that. Okay, that is it for the setups, though. And I think that's gonna be it for the stream. Like from the packages, yeah, like someone put a bomb in these packages. So alright, I'm gonna go figure out what that beeping is. I'm gonna go eat my Indian curry with basmati rice dinner. I got some stuff back here in the background. You can kind of maybe see it. So I'm doing some stuff here, setting up a system for benchmarking. So there should be a video either this weekend or shortly after this weekend on Monday or something like that. So be on the lookout for that. But other than that, yeah. Thank you everyone for coming to stream. And hope you guys have a great rest of the night. Have a great rest of the week. And have a good weekend coming up. And I will see you in the comments of videos or in the next week's stream. So take it easy, everyone. And I will see you later. Bye-bye.